Hello there, everybody. This is Captain Dennis with SqualusMarine.com, and today we are down in Key West. We flew into Fort Lauderdale and took the ride down in a fancy convertible. And we are down here with Captain's Corner. Leslie was friends with our good friend Jill, and they got us on the boat. So we're heading out to go see a pretty big wreck. I think it was put down in around 2009. It's an artificial reef, and it is called the wreck of the Vandenberg. So this is a big, I think it was like it's like a surveillance, Navy thing. Oh, it's raining. Look at that. It's pretty good when you stick your face in the water. You can immediately see the ship. We don't have visibility like that up where I live, but we're going to make our way down, and you can see way down the bottom right, the little flashy light. That's Jill, and Jill's nice enough to bring some big boy tanks down for us to use. So we've got a lot of time down here. I wanted to spend some quality time with the wreck and get to know her. We are getting down to we're forward of the midship, so we're gonna check out this wreck. It's pretty big. I think it's like 500 and some odd feet long from front to back. So we're gonna take a first swim out to the bow, and then we'll go back to the stern, and then we'll see what time we have left over. But this is our first dive on it, so we're going to see what we can come across. It's a pretty big boat. So here we are in the front. There's like a flag hanging here, but the current's not behaving. And then if you turn around, there's another flag over here. Really cool wreck. I think it's, like I said, I think it's been down for 10 years. Moving forward here, we've got the capstan or the winch, and I guess they bring the anchor up and down with this thing. Mostly up. The down part's the easy part, and I think that's the brake. These things can get pretty hot if it gets crazy. It starts pulling that anchor down pretty quick. But beautiful, clear water. We were very fortunate. We had calm seas, had good viz. Here's the bow, and you can see that that mooring on the bow is pretty meaty. The one thing we didn't have going for us, it was raining, so we didn't have the best ambient light, but I'm not complaining with this kind of visibility. So we're going to head back. This is the port bow, and if you can see, we got a big old Goliath grouper that was hanging out. He saw us and decided to swim off the wreck, but if you look, you can see he's got some fishing line dangling from him. But you don't want to swim too far off the wreck. You can, even with good viz, you can not pay attention and get lost. You can run into trouble that way. So we're making our way aft now, and notice a little, look at this little sea urchin thingy. I'm not a marine biologist, so if you know what it is, you know the drill. Write it in the comments below. Interesting to think of how many people were on here when it was in service. Let's take a look down here. Go inside. No, let's not say we did. But let's look inside some of the bigger doors. Sort of kind of looks like a bathroom in some of the bars on the Lower East Side of New York City. Now we're up top, kind of looking into where the radar dishes were mounted. I believe this is one of those spots. And you can see your top left, that's what's left of the radar dish. These things used to be attached, but I think the hurricanes put them someplace else. This is, I believe, the middle of the ship, and we are now on the starboard side heading aft. Do a quick buddy check for Jill. There she is. This is also another spot where the other radar dish was mounted. And now we're getting closer to the stern. I saw this corner of my eye. It looked like somebody lost a weight pouch. So I don't know, they just kind of Velcroed it there. I just think that maybe, wasn't sure if it was like a science experiment or something, so I just left it alone. We're still ahead and aft. You can really see this is just one side, and it's a pretty sizable vessel. We got another barracuda here hanging out, and if you notice, he also has some monofilament hanging from his mouth. So somebody lost their line, and this guy's stuck with it. And here we are on the stern. And you got Jill there for some scale, and another mooring attached to the stern. I want to say that at the bottom, I think at the very bottom where the sand is, I think Jill was saying it was like 160 or something like that. So we're just going to stay up on the top decks. Don't have the proper mix for that. So now we're moving forward. And we encounter another barracuda. And over here, if you look, see that? There's another one. And they're eyeballing me, wondering what the heck I'm doing. But they're cool, I'm cool. So we leave them alone. And there's another one over there. So, barracuda's on the back. And as we look down into the blue, you can see the other dish, or what's left of it, on the port side. There it is. Not much left of it. And I think that's where it went. Or maybe that's where the other one went. But there were two. So we're coming around and we notice this little guy hanging out. Mr. Mare. He got a little squirrely. And I was trying to adjust my light, so he didn't like being on camera. He didn't sign any releases either, so you didn't see this. And he just, from what I understand, there were two on the ship, but we got to see this one, which is kind of cool. But again, just let him go do his business. Here we are in the middle, and there's got your Duval Street sign. And we're going to make our way back to the tie-in. And we got Jill taking the lead down below. So we pretty much reached the end of our first dive, and we'd like to thank Captain's Corner and Jill for coming down with the tanks. And we're going to make our way up to the top. And if you want to check out more wrecks, go to squalusmarine.com. And until next time, I'm Captain Dennis.